Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome back to Backpacking UK. If hiking, backpacking and wild camping are your thing, please hit that subscribe button because that's what this channel's all about. Right, today be reviewing the MSR Access Two tent. Now this is a 4-season tent this is, yet it weighs just 1.86 kilos. Is this the backpacking tent we've all been waiting for? Now this is a 2-person tent. It's like a palace. It's long, it's wide, it's tall, it's got carbon poles, it's got waterproof outer bathtub floor as well. It could be the perfect tent. However, I do have quite a lot to say about this tent, which we'll get to at the end. But first of all, what I want to do, I want to show you what's inside this MSR Access Two tent bag. Then I'm going to pitch it. I'm going to have a good look around it, good look inside, and then we're going to start talking about it and summarise it as best as I can. So this MSR Access 2 costs $799, or in the UK £735. I've had a look around, you can get it cheaper than that, so I'll put some links in the description for you. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comment section, I'll get back to you. But let's have a look inside this MSR Access 2 tent bag. So this is what's inside the tent bag. So you've got one of these fast pack bags, which I absolutely love. It's oversized, so at the end you just stuff everything in there, fasten it up, and then use the compression straps just to get it really small. Wish all tents would come with bags like that. You've got these really chunky tent pegs. They're nice and long too, so they will really keep the tent grounded. Strong winds. You've got these Easton Syclone Composite tent poles, which is like a massive one-piece design. Super lightweight, basically like carbon tent poles. Then you've got the inner, then you've got the outer. So I'm going to start pitching this MSR Access 2 with the inner first. So next up, what I've got to do, I've got to start putting the one-piece Easton Syclone poles together. So this is the structure all set up. Now just to clip the inner to the tent poles, which is really quick and easy to do. Even in the wind, people make quite a big deal about inner pitch first tents, but I must admit you can clip these up so fast, you know, unless it's torrential rain, it's not really too much of an issue. So I'll show you how quick it is to do in real time, and then you can make a decision for yourself. But that is it. That is fully clipped up, hopefully in less than 60 seconds. So here's some of the little features. These are the super strong sturdy tent pegs. These are the little fixings that go in the tent poles. These are the carbon fibre tent poles with lots and lots of little fixings up there. As you can see, really straight sidewalls. Then this is the Easton Syclone Composite, basically like a carbon fibre tent pole. So this is the inner pitched of the MSR Access 2. So you can see there's loads and loads of solid mesh. And you've got a little bit of see-through mesh, which really does help ventilation. So it's a proper 2-person tent, 2 doors, 2 vestibules. It clips really well together, just super quick and easy. As you can see here as well, just want to make sure that's on the top because that's where the strength comes from. Right, so I'm going to put the outer fly on this MSR Access 2 tent. Got the same little fixings as the inner does, which goes in each corner of the tent poles. So let's take a look around this MSR Access 2 tent. Now, as you can see, it's got a nice big vestibule there. That's 76 centimetres. Unfortunately, 8 pegs are not enough for this tent. So you need some extra pegs for the guy lines at the ends. You've also got a vent here, but there's nothing to fix it to. So you either need a separate guy line, or you need to run this guy line through it and out to the ground. Now you've got a little guy line there with the temp peg. These are the little fastenings to compress that fly right down. As you can see, you've got the inner and the outer fixings there. These are the nice big chunky temp pegs there. So you've also got other guy points around this tent. These are the main guys, which is really disappointing that you do not have a temp peg for those. Again, at the sides you've got the adjusting fixings here, just get it really nice and taut. But it's a lovely shaped tent, it really is. That's the other door on the other side. Really big, really spacious, loads of space to put all your gear in here. It's just a great looking tent to me. Really well designed as far as space is concerned. So materials used in this MSR Access 2 are a 30D nylon fabric for the bathtub floor with a hydrostatic head rating of 3000, a 20D nylon fabric for the fly with only a 1200 hydrostatic head rating, which is right at the very bottom of the waterproof scale. Now the inner uses a mixture of a 10D and a 20D nylon fabric with a durable water repellent finish. So let's take a look inside this MSR Access 2 tent. So you've just got a door on one half of one side. You've got a little spacer and a toggle, just fixes that off nicely. Again, you've got like a half moon for the inner door. Just wrap that around, exactly the same. You've got a little toggle and a little spacer then, and that is it. In the side you've got a big pocket at each end, so it's got the 2 doors, one on either side. The vestibules are the same size on every side. Now you've got these little sort of fixings up here. I've got a carabiner up there, but you can hook like a lantern or a line to dry some of your gear on there. But as you can see, it's a really generously sized 2-person tent. So this is a proper 2-person backpacking tent. The length is 213 centimetres, the width is 127 centimetres, and the height is 107 centimetres. Now I'm 5'8", 172 centimetres, and there is lots and lots of space above my head. Now if you were 6 foot, you'd be very comfortable in here. I'd even go as far to say if there's 2 6-foot people in here, there'd probably still be space for you. Now one of the biggest benefits of this tent is these vertical walls, which just give you loads of interior space. It's really good. Now I've used this a couple of times in some pretty harsh conditions, and the solid mesh is really good. It really does stop those chilly winds from coming in. These little windows right at the top, these see-through mesh, really does help with ventilation. I didn't have any problems with condensation at all, which is really good. The pockets on either side, perfectly sized if you ask me. It's got a lantern hook. You've also got some other fixings, so if you've got a bit of rope you can make a little washing line too. So what are my final thoughts? Well, for a start, it's not a proper 4-season tent. Anyone in Europe, if they bought this as a 4-season tent, they would be really, really disappointed. A 4-season tent that pitches in a first? I don't think so. It's really quite confusing. The fly doesn't go right to the ground either, again making it not a proper 4-season tent. The solid mesh is really good. Now, these Easton Syclone poles are supposed to be unbreakable. I've seen them in some really, really bad weather. They are unbreakable, but that's because they bend. Now, you've just got to guy your tent out so well. I took this tent out in some pretty severe wind, and I just had to peg it out till an inch of its life, because the tent poles are bendy and the tent will misshapen without them. So great, tent poles are unbreakable, brilliant, but it deforms the tent. Should you just use stronger tent poles in the first place? Personally, I think so. So, final thoughts. On paper, 1.86 kilos for a 4-season tent, big spacious 2-person tent. It sounds great. However, it's been a big disappointment for me. It really has. I can't recommend it, and I wouldn't buy it again. Now, I think this tent is suited for European weather, as I would say like a spring and autumn tent. I personally wouldn't really take this out in winter. Certainly in the UK, we've always got wind. So if you're going up in the mountains, especially towards the summits, this tent's going to get absolutely battered, I think. And I think there are better tents out there. So it's a fantastic tent for spring and autumn, brilliant. Winter, not so much. Proper 4-season tent, not so much. And that's really my final thoughts. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Hope you got something out of it. Please check out my other videos too. Hope to see you wild camping soon. Cheers.